So the San Antonio Spurs are about to hold some type of huge intervention meeting type thing with Kawhi Leonard. And from the sound of things, it doesn't seem like Kawhi is going to be in San Antonio much longer. Yo, what up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and as always, you guys are the real MVPs coming back each and every single day. We got a few things to talk about today, and we're gonna talk about them, but first, I do have to let you guys know about the best app, period, for NBA fans on the market, hands down, Sports Q Trivia. This is just a straight up fact. You guys get quizzed on your NBA knowledge, some NBA trivia while you watch highlights for a chance to win some cash. It's as simple as that. In the last game on Monday, I think we had almost 15 to 20 people that won cash just from answering some questions about the NBA. We probably had so many because of the new extra lives feature, where you guys can earn extra lives now, so even if you get a question wrong, you're not automatically out of the game. Use my referral code SDC when you sign up, and you'll get an extra life, and you'll also get another extra life for every person you invite to play the game by using your referral code. I'll have links to download it down in the description box below. Anyways though, as I was saying, the San Antonio Spurs are prepared to hold an all hands on deck meeting with Kawhi Leonard. And it's mandatory, so Kawhi has to be there so they can hear his thoughts, pick his brain as to what on earth is going on here. And right out the rip, this tells me a couple of things. First off is that not even the San Antonio Spurs have any idea what's going on in the mind of Kawhi Leonard, if he really wants to be traded or not. They have no clue, and that's why they're holding this mandatory type meeting thing. And it's also why they waited until after the season was over, since they were just eliminated last night by the Golden State Warriors, to announce that they're going to have this type of meeting. Because if they had the meeting during the regular season or the playoff, it would have distracted the team. If the meeting went down, Kawhi Leonard comes out and says, yes, I want it to be traded, that would have thrown a whole wrench in the San Antonio Spurs chemistry that they thought they had. However, from the sound of things, it already seems like some of the players on the San Antonio Spurs are already expecting Kawhi Leonard to be traded, for him not to be here next season. Just listen to what Danny Green had to say about this yesterday. Kawhi, everybody asks questions, but he's still here. He's still locked in. He's a part of this team until things change. He's still there. He's still locked in. I'm sorry, but what on earth are you talking about, Danny Green? Where's Kawhi at? Do you specifically know where Kawhi is? Because it'll be very helpful if you were to help us find him. We know he's supposedly off in New York somewhere. No one knows exactly where. But the thing is, if he isn't there where you guys were in the playoffs losing to the Golden State Warriors, and also he's supposedly not talking to the team, which is now pretty much confirmed since they had to hold this mandatory meeting just to see what is going on, how is he still there, and how is he still locked in? Locked in on what? With that aside, did you guys catch the last part of what Danny Green said? He said, until things change, right at the end. And to me, that kind of symbolizes what's going through the mind of the San Antonio Spurs. He's still part of the team until things change, until he's not part of the team anymore, until he gets traded. Look, it wasn't just Danny Green who was making remarks like this yesterday. Paul Gasol was doing the exact same thing. You never know what happens during the summer, what moves can happen. On our team, from my understanding, there are 6 or 7 guys who are restricted free agents or who have player options. And then we have the situation we all know with Kawhi Leonard. And we don't know how that's going to resolve, to be honest, from that standpoint. There it is right there, people. That's all we need to hear. He called it a situation with Kawhi, and he doesn't know how it's going to resolve. There seems to be no confidence whatsoever amongst the other players of the San Antonio Spurs that Kawhi Leonard still wants to be there, that he's going to be there next year. And the crazy thing is, it's not only Kawhi Leonard. Even Tony Parker is talking about leaving the San Antonio Spurs this summer. As when he was asked whether or not he will be back next year, this is what he had to say. We'll see. I said already I want to keep playing. I'm happy I don't have these retirement parties. I want to keep playing, and we'll see if it's in San Antonio. Everybody knows I would love to stay here, but free agency is always crazy, so we'll see. Wow. As for the Spurs' plans to keep Parker, it doesn't seem like they're too interested in it either. The GM of the Spurs, R.C. Buford, said they'd keep Parker, but only if he's willing to take a lot less money than what he's making right now, which is around $15.6 million a year. And I can't be mad at San Antonio for that at all. There's no way on this earth that I'm ever paying Tony Parker at the stage of his career that he's at now anything close to $15 million. Maybe take that 5 off $15 million away, and we might be able to talk about some sort of a deal here. And to add on to that, it seems like Tony Parker might have a disconnect with the rest of the team, or at least Kawhi Leonard too, because you remember early in the season where he took shots at Kawhi Leonard, saying that he doesn't know why Kawhi Leonard is not playing. He's playing, and his quad injury was 1,000 times worse than Kawhi Leonard's was. This whole situation is crazy. It's like the Rome of the NBA is crumbling right before our eyes. Of course, though, the most important thing about this whole situation is Kawhi Leonard. If Tony Parker leaves, it might hurt the feelings of some Spurs fans, but it really won't make that much of a difference. And from the sound of things, as for what the Spurs should do with this whole Kawhi Leonard situation, if I'm being honest, I might start looking at trying to acquire some trade packages, some rebuilding trade packages in exchange for Kawhi Leonard. A young player plus a draft pick, and I'm happy. I'm really happy with what I got in return for him. Because look, if you have to hold a mandatory team meeting just to get in contact with your star player, how is this a good sign? How could this possibly be a good sign? Things aren't going to turn out for the best. You already heard what some of the players are saying. They know things are not about to turn out for the best. It's highly unlikely that Kawhi Leonard is going to be with the Spurs next year. So if I'm the Spurs, I'm looking for a rebuilding package, because without Kawhi Leonard, it doesn't make sense to keep this aging core that they have together. Let everyone that wants to walk, and go get your rebuilding package. You're the Spurs, you can rebuild, you'll be fine. As for who they should call up to get this rebuilding package, well, anytime there's a big free agent or a big player out of the market that's supposed to be available for trade, you all know what the team is that we say he's going to get traded to: the Boston Celtics, because they have heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of assets still. So if I'm the San Antonio Spurs, that's exactly who I'm calling up. I'm going to Boston and be like, yo, if we can get Kawhi Leonard to agree to sign with you guys for a longer period of time so he doesn't hit free agency in the summer of 2019, you're going to give us Jaylen Brown, and you're going to give us that first round Lakers pick that you got. And if I'm the Boston Celtics, and Kawhi Leonard is willing to re-sign with us, he's willing to commit past 2019, I'm taking that trade in a heartbeat. Do you know why? Because no matter how much potential, no matter how great Jaylen Brown could be, and I do think he's going to be an all-star level player, we are talking about Kawhi Leonard. I mean, this isn't any typical player. This is Kawhi Leonard. Best case scenario for Jaylen Brown, he comes close to maybe being on the level of Kawhi Leonard one day in the distant future. But we're talking about getting Kawhi Leonard right now, but still 25, 26 years old, has a lot of basketball left in him. If you can get that player to re-sign with you, you take Kawhi Leonard, even if you have to give up Jaylen Brown plus the Lakers pick, because it's freaking Kawhi Leonard. You pair that next to Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford, you're talking about a contender for a very, very long time. So the Philadelphia 76ers have officially advanced to the second round of the NBA playoffs after finishing off their series with the Miami Heat yesterday, which is great. Congratulations to Philly, a young team on the come up. Speaking of the come up, though, we have a player on the downfall. Hassan Whiteside, the guy who I've gotten on a little bit during the postseason so far. He came out and opened up his mouth after this game, as he was pretty disgusted with the amount of minutes that he was getting during the series. At least give me a chance to fight. At least give me a chance to fight. I can understand if I was playing 30 minutes and I play bad, but at least give me a chance. That is what Hassan Whiteside had to say. I guess he's trying to get people to feel bad for him. Like, he's trying to play the victim card here, but Whiteside, we all know why you weren't getting minutes. You know why you weren't getting minutes. You were given a chance. You not being given a chance would be you not getting into the games at all, which maybe you shouldn't have gotten into the games at all. You were given the chance. In the 10 to 15 minutes you were able to play per game, that was your chance to show that you were going to go out there and compete. And every single time the same thing happened. You didn't compete. You were picking up fouls left and right, turning the ball over. You were doing damage to the team by being on the court. So you didn't get those 30 minutes to do even more damage. I don't understand how you expect 30 minutes when you weren't doing anything in the 15 minutes that you were getting. In the 5 games that you did play against the Philadelphia 76ers, you scored a total of 26 points, had 16 fouls and 12 turnovers. That's enough said. I don't need to say anything else. That's why you weren't getting playing time. Do you not understand that? As for this game in itself, I mean, this was a game that we all expected Philly to win, go in and close it out on their home court. And that's exactly what they did, especially in the second half when they were able to pull away a bit. Now though, all eyes are actually on Dwyane Wade, as this could have been his very last game that he has ever played in. And after the game, Wade said that he has of course given retirement some thought, but he's not going to give any breaking news in Philly.
Spo was just in here. He said he doesn't even want to think about this potentially being your last game and get too emotional. Have you given it any thought? And he also said you could play off the bench the rest of your life.
Of course, y'all know I've given it thought. This is Philly, and I love Philly, but ain't gonna be no breaking news here in Philly. I'm sorry. So I appreciate y'all concerning, but we'll worry about that later. Ain't gonna break nothing here.
Hold up, before we jump to any conclusions, this could go either way. Breaking news could be him retiring, or could still be him announcing that he's going to come back and play another year. Either way, it would be kind of breaking news. However, I wouldn't be surprised if he were to retire. He isn't going to sign with another team to try and chase a ring. He's already said he's done with that. He doesn't want to play anywhere else besides Miami at this point in his career. And unless the Heat are able to make some type of earth-shattering move where they somehow become contenders again, I don't know if Dwyane Wade's going to be motivated enough to come back. Because sure, he could come back, make the playoffs again, get to the first, second round, but that's about it. And is that what Dwyane Wade wants to come back for? No, I don't think he wants to come back unless he has a chance to compete for a championship with the Heat. Either that or maybe mentor a group of new young players, but in order to do that, the Heat would have to completely hit the reset button this offseason, which maybe they do. But if they just go into next season with the same group they have right now, I don't know if Dwyane Wade will come back. And I just want to say that this one will be hard for me to accept, that Dwyane Wade's not still in the NBA, because he'll be the first legend where I saw him from the start of his career to the end of his career. I've seen other legends end their career, whether it be Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Smush Parker, but I never got to see the beginning of their career. Dwyane Wade, I got to see the beginning to the end, so it's gonna be really hard for me and a lot of people in my age group seeing Dwyane Wade go. Now for Philly though, all they have to do at this point is just sit back, relax, and watch the end of the Boston Celtics versus Milwaukee Bucks series. And Bucks fans, let's just say they're not happy at all, by the way, because of a pretty big no call that happened late in this game when the Celtics weren't whistled for an obvious no call on a shot clock violation. Horford tried to put up a three in time to beat the shot clock, but the ball was clearly still in his hands when the buzzer sounded. I mean, the refs didn't call it, and that was a pretty big momentum swing for the Celtics, since the Bucks at the time were still trying to make a push to get back into the game. And of all people, Eric Bledsoe wasn't happy about this after the game at all.
A minute left, Horford's shot didn't get off before the shot clock went on. Did you guys get any explanation about what happened there?
I think it was bullshit. Point blank.
But then again, Eric Bledsoe, look at the way you've been playing. If you were playing at least decently, maybe that shot clock violation doesn't really matter, so you can't complain. And also, speaking of Eric Bledsoe, it finally happened as he and Terry Rozier got into it in the third quarter. And the two of them bumped each other a little under the rim. Bledsoe lowered his shoulder into Rozier. Rozier took exception to that and pushed Eric Bledsoe, and that's pretty much it. Bledsoe was given a flagrant foul on his part, and Rozier is given a technical for fighting back. And then going back to Bledsoe, he didn't even want to comment on this after the game.
Eric, from your perspective, what happened there with Rozier in the first half?
We looking forward to game 3. Simple as that. Well, it's game 6, my fault. Simple as that. So that's it.
I mean, this guy, look, I just don't see what he's ever done to have such a big ego that he has. He's a solid point guard, sure, during the regular season, but outside of that, he hasn't done anything. I mean, he acts like he's above Rozier, but he's not. Anyways though, despite all of this, the Celtics get the win. Marcus Smart returned to the court a lot earlier than anyone expected after he had to have surgery on his thumb. And he was, the same old Marcus Smart, making hustle plays, playing great defense. And Semi Ojeleye, the Celtics rookie, got his first ever career start in the playoffs in a pivotal game 5 yesterday, and he was given the task of trying to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's insane to ask a rookie that's never started a game in the playoffs to go out and guard the other team's best player. That's a lot to ask of a guy, and the crazier thing is he did a pretty good job of it, better than any other Boston defender has been able to do so far this series. Giannis still did have 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists, but you're never going to completely shut down a player like Giannis. It's all about just trying to do damage control, making sure that he doesn't completely go off on you and win the game by himself. And Semi did a great job of that, and that also just shows you how deep this Celtics team is, man. They just brought in a rookie who had never started a game in his career and told him, go guard Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the best players in the NBA. And he did a great job of it. That's insane depth. But that's actually going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA videos. Thank you once again for watching, though. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow. But until then, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!